All right, so let's just dive right in. I want you to picture something for a second. You're walking past a fish tank, could be anywhere. But inside, there's this creature, a flowerhorn cichlid. And the color just,
Okay.
it grabs you. It's this solid, vibrant, almost screaming red, like a swimming ruby. It's the kind of thing you'd stop and just stare at.
It sounds absolutely stunning. I mean, just on a purely visual level,
Yeah.
that's a 10 out of 10.
Right, it's gorgeous. But here's the kicker, and this is really what we're digging into today. You're staring at this beautiful animal, this stunner, and you look at the label on the tank, and you find out that what you're seeing is, well, it's a mistake. It's a reject.
Which is such a jarring idea, isn't it? Your eyes are telling you one thing. This is beautiful, but the system, the market, says it's an error.
Exactly. And that tension, that friction between what we see as beautiful and what the market decides is valuable. That's our starting point. We're looking at a really great source from today, Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. It's a blog post from kianmeng.org from a series called Notes on Fishkeeping. This one is part 186.
And part 186, we can't gloss over that number.
No way. That tells you so much.
It really does. I mean, this isn't some random post. The author, Ang, is a serious observer, a chronicler. And what makes this so interesting is he's not just a fish guy. He actually describes himself as an old software plumber.
Which is just about the coolest job title I've heard in a long, long time.
It's so evocative, right? A software plumber, someone who fixes the messy pipes of the internet.
Hmm.
So we're not just looking at a fish. We're looking at a fish through the eyes of a systems engineer. And when that kind of mind analyzes a so-called rejected fish, well, the insights go way beyond the aquarium.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Where is Ang when he finds this super red?
So he's out running errands. The post makes it sound very routine. He says he's just restocking fish keeping supplies and scouting for new species. This
Yeah.
isn't some special trip. He's just grabbing stuff. And then he spots it.
The super red flowerhorn.
Yeah. And his description is so specific. He doesn't just say it's red. He writes, it's likely the reddest flowerhorn I have ever seen. He even notes the color is strongest around the lower frontal area.
Reddest ever seen. Okay, coming from a guy on his 186th entry, that's not hyperbole, that's a data point?
Absolutely. He's a logger, not an exaggerator. If he says it's the reddest, it probably is. But his analytical brain immediately kicks in. He knows why this fish is just sitting there. He spots the bug in the code.
The flaw!
The flaw. He explains that even though the color is incredible, the fish has a complete lack of pearling.
Pearling. Okay, talk to me about pearling. What exactly is that?
So in the world of flowerhorns, pearling refers to these star-like speckles all over the scales. Think of it like a fine layer of glitter or diamond dust over the main color.
Okay, so it's the bling. The fish is missing its bling.
Basically, yeah. And the standard, with a capital S, says a high-quality flowerhorn needs that bling. It's what wins shows. It's what drives the price way up. So when you have a fish that's just solid red, no sparkles, technically it's incomplete.
That is so wild. It's like finding a perfect deep red Ferrari and someone says, oh, sorry, no racing stripes, it's garbage. I think the solid red sounds better.
That's a perfect analogy. The market wants the stripes.
Hmm.
But Ang is standing there and he's realizing the lack of pearling actually makes the red bolder. It pops more.
He calls it a solid, bold aesthetic. I love that. He's reframing the bug as a feature.
Precisely. It's a clash between the rules and what your eyes are telling you. The rules demand pearling.
Yeah.
His eyes just see this incredible wash of red.
Yeah.
And he sees the allure where everyone else sees a defect.
And because the market sees a defect, the price drops. He says it's an affordable option.
Right. And that creates this fascinating little economic loophole. You could call it an arbitrage of taste. The strict rules create a side market of these rejects that are actually stunning. If you don't care about the judge's scorecard, you can get the reddest flowerhorn ever for a bargain.
It's like the ugly fruit movement, but for fish. You buy the weird-looking carrot because it tastes the same.
Very similar. Except in this case, the ugly fish might actually be more beautiful to some people. It really makes you question what quality even means. Is it a checklist? Or is it the impact it has on you?
I think we all want it to be about the impact, but our wallets usually follow the checklist.
Sad but true. Value is often just social consensus.
So Ang's there, looking at this affordable beauty. Does he buy it?
He doesn't say he bought that specific one, but he is definitely tempted. He mentions a pattern. He says, I seem to keep crossing paths with flowerhorns lately.
Ah, the universe is sending him signals.
Or the algorithm is retargeting him in real life.
Yeah.
He wonders if it's a sign. He writes, perhaps it's a sign to get a juvenile for the keeping purpose. And he makes a point to say he's been keeping and breeding cichlid all this while.
So he's no rookie. This isn't an impulse buy for him.
Oh, not at all. And this is where his software plumber brain creates a conflict. He makes a distinction between getting a fish for keeping, as a pet and for breeding.
And the dream is to breed them, right?
Yeah, he says he would love to get a pair for breeding purposes. But then reality hits. He notes the premium price tag for a high-quality breeding pair, let alone finding one pair, remains a significant challenge.
So to breed them properly, he feels like he needs to buy the expensive fish with the pearling.
That's the implication. If you breed the solid red rejects, you'll probably just get more rejects that the market doesn't value. So he's caught. He can enjoy this amazing super red as a pet, affordably. But to get into the serious side of the hobby, breeding, he hits this massive paywall built on speckles.
It's amazing how much gatekeeping can exist in a fish tank.
Every hobby has its gatekeepers. But let's go back to Aang himself for a second. I was looking at the sidebar on his blog, and my gosh, this guy doesn't just dabble.
Oh, I saw that. I scrolled through that list and my jaw just dropped.
Right. The site is subtitled Journal of an Old Software Plumber, Tinkering with Free Libre and Open Source Software. But then you look at his projects list.
It's incredible. Notes on gardening, notes on photography, notes on AI, meditation, dieting, guitar.
And then all the coding notes. Haskell, Rust, Go, Elixir.
And spawn logs, beta spawn logs, MISC, fishes spawn logs.
And he tracks his life. This week in review, this month in review.
This is a person who documents everything. He systematizes his entire life.
He really does. And knowing that completely changes how you read the post. When he says, this is the reddest fish I've ever seen, that's not a casual comment. That's a query result from his own internal database of fish he's logged over the years.
I love that. If a guy who tracks Pearl weekly challenges says something is notable, I believe him.
Exactly. But there's an even deeper layer here. Think about his world. Free and open source software, or FLOSS. In that world, there's a huge cultural value on function over form, on utility.
Right. It's about what the code does, not how shiny the box is.
Precisely. And in that world, proprietary software is often seen as bloated, locked down, and expensive, with a flashy interface hiding the problems.
A bit like the pearling.
It's exactly like the pearling. The standard Flowerhorn is expensive, proprietary software with a shiny UI. But the Super Red, the solid, bold fish, that's open source, that's Linux.
The Linux of Flowerhorns. That is maybe the best analogy I've ever heard.
It just fits, doesn't it? It's stripped down, it's minimalist, it does one thing, being RAD, and it does it perfectly. To a software plumber, that's not a bug, that is a feature. It's optimized code. He's looking at it and thinking, why do we even need the noise from the pearling? The signal is the color.
He's debugging the fish. He's found that the error is actually an improvement.
In a way, yeah. And he's also so methodical, he has posts going back. Wow. All the way to 2011.
15 years of blogging. That's some serious consistency.
So when he says he keeps crossing paths with these fish and wonders if it's a sign, it's coming from a mind that is constantly looking for patterns in data.
It's so charming. You have this really logical, data-driven framework wrapping around this very emotional, aesthetic reaction to a redfish.
That's the beauty of it. It bridges the left and right brain. His project list has notes on typesetting, right next to notes on meditation. And this fish sits right in the middle of that. It's a biological system that needs technical care, but it also provides this pure, simple, aesthetic joy.
And the frustration of that price tag.
True. The premium price tag is the constraint. It's the external system telling him he can't execute the breeding program because the hardware is too expensive.
You think he'll ever just decide to breed the rejects?
It's an interesting thought, right? If he's a true open source advocate, maybe he'd be into open source genetics.
What do you mean by that?
Well, in software, if a project gets too bloated or expensive, someone can fork it. They take the base code and start a new branch that serves their values. They build a new standard.
So he could fork the flowerhorn species.
Why not? Buy the affordable super reds, breed them, select for that solid, bold color, create a new strain of open source super reds that just ignores the pearling rule.
Notes on developing the super red strain? I would read that blog post in a second.
I think a lot of people would, and it fits his whole ethos. His sidebar has links to the Electronic Frontier Foundation, the Free Software Foundation, all groups dedicated to breaking down barriers.
Wow. The fish really is a metaphor for his entire worldview.
It really is. It's about not letting the gatekeepers tell you what's valuable.
So he leaves the store, he writes the post, he ends with, "Till the next post." It's a cliffhanger.
It is. We don't know if he went back. But knowing what we know about him, the software plumber mindset.
Yeah.
He's going to go home, he's going to research the genetics of pearling, run a simulation in his head, he's going to check his budget against his year-in-review spreadsheet, and then, yeah, I think he goes back for the fish.
I really hope he does. I want to see part 187, bringing the Super Red home.
Me too. Because he clearly saw something no one else did. They saw a reject. He saw a ruby.
So let's zoom out. What does this all mean for us? I mean, most of us aren't breeding cichlids.
No, but we all operate in worlds that have standards. I think the big takeaway is about having the confidence to define value for yourself. The market says a flowerhorn should look a certain way. Miss a box on the checklist, and you're a reject.
And we see that everywhere. Hiring, art, product design.
Yeah.
You name it.
Exactly. But Aang walks in, uses his own eyes, and sees allure. The reject label doesn't stop him from appreciating it. In fact, it makes the fish more accessible to him.
It's a lesson in not letting the purists tell you it's beautiful.
Totally. Whether it's fish or art or code, standards are just. They're arbitrary trends, really.
Yeah.
Pearling is popular now. In 10 years, maybe the solid reds will be the premium standard. Who knows?
Huh, get those sparkles off of my fish. I want it solid.
You never know. But the lesson is to look for your own super red in the reject pile. Look for the bug that's actually a beautiful feature.
And I think it's also a call to be a bit more like Aang. To be curious, to track things, to notice the patterns in your own life.
Yes, that's so important. If he hadn't been writing his notes for 186 entries, he might not have even noticed the pattern. Writing it down makes it real. It turns a coincidence into a sign.
It kind of makes me want to start a notes on journal.
Notes on snack selection.
Part 402, the allure of the spicy chip.
See? You're already thinking like a software plumber, building the database.
I love it. But seriously, that mindset, looking for the features that everyone else thinks are bugs, that's a powerful tool.
It's how innovation happens. It rarely comes from following the standard perfectly. It comes from looking at the thing that broke the standard and asking, hang on, is that actually better?
So here's my final thought for everyone listening. Think about your own field, your hobby, your job. Where are the rejects? What are the things that everyone else ignores because they don't fit the mold, or they're missing that one must-have feature?
Maybe it's a job candidate without the fancy degree, but with an incredible portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
Or a business idea that seems too simple to work.
Exactly. If you looked at those things again, without the lens of the market standard, would you see a super red gem just hiding there?
And if you find it, don't worry about the pearling. Just enjoy the color.
That's the mission. Go find your solid red fish. Thanks for diving in with us.
Keep observing.